at the beginning.
The beginning.
Or we can go to the vocation if you'd like.
So the invocation.
Yeah.
I'll cover this stuff in my.
Okay, cool. So in this moment, I invite you to plant your feet. Take a nice, deep, heartfelt breath. And on the exhale, just really push out any stress, any anxiety, knowing that on the inhale breath, all is well. All is God. There is only one power and presence that moves through and as everything that there is, known and unknown. And in this moment, just knowing and being able to lean into that faith and that knowing that we are always absolutely supported, loved, guided, and guarded. So join with me now. Join our hearts, our centers, our spiritual center, moving into a time of prayer, a time of connection that even separation physically can never separate. Always, always having that connection. And so I bless this time together wherever we are, in whatever state of dress we're in, if our jammies, and just knowing and bringing that sense of joy and comfort and peace into the moment. So grateful that we are all here together. And I release this, and so it is.
So it is.
So in this moment, whether you have a candle with you in your own space, or if we just need to look at this candle back here, what this represents for us is that ever illumined sense of who we are, because of what we are, that we are spiritual beings. So no situation, no condition can ever extinguish that flame. And I'm so grateful for that. And so as we reflect on this, just reflect on that in your own life. So the readings today I chose are on resiliency, grace, and hope. Helen Keller said, "Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experience of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved." She also said, "The marvelous richness of human experience would lose something of rewarding joy if there were no limitations to overcome. The hilltop hour would not be half so wonderful if there were no dark valleys to traverse." And on grace, William Hazlitt said, "Grace has been defined as the outward expression of the inward harmony of the soul." And Annie Lamont, this is one of my favorite quotes ever, is grace is the force that infuses our lives and keeps letting us off the hook. It is the unearned love, the love that goes before, that greets us on the way. It's the help you receive when you have no more bright ideas left. When you are empty and desperate and have discovered that your best thinking and your most charming charm have failed you. Grace is the light, or the electricity, or juice, or breeze that takes you from that isolated place and puts you with others who are as startled and embarrassed and eventually as grateful as you are to be there. And from our founder, Ernest Holmes, hope cannot die. Hope is forever warm and fresh within me. The deathless hope built upon the rock of sure knowledge. Oh, hope sublime, oh, life supreme, behold, I come to thee as a tired child, and thou dost rekindle within me the fires of faith. Strong, swift, and sure, faith springs forth into action, and my entire being rises to meet the dawn. Hope, faith, and love are in me. And from the last author, her name is Pusha Bhatt. When prayer flags flutter and the prayers inscribed on them blend into the wind, the surroundings sing. soars, compassion spills. May those feelings guide us through the day. So it is now my honor to introduce Kelly. Or no?
Prayer.
Prayer that is on.
Prayer, okay.
Yeah. It's
We're
okay.
learning it
We're
all,
live,
aren't we?
right?
Well, you'll get Kelly later. So, in this moment, for our treatment, again, I recognize that there is only one power, one presence, one health, one healing, one life, one love, one light that illumines each and every one of us. And in that, I just know that whatever conditions there exist in the world external to us, that our body temple is in absolute harmony with the one love, with God, with spirit, with the universal direction. And so for each of us sitting in our own space, I affirm and know that to be the truth of each one. And in that place of knowing, of health, of equilibrium and vibrancy, I bless this world as we move out into, in consciousness, move out into the world, healing and helping, loving and supporting each other. And so I know in this moment, health, healing, vibrancy of love and light, love, joy, effervescence exists in each one of us because those are qualities of spirit. And I'm grateful for this time. I'm grateful for the words to speak. And as I release my words into the law, I know it. The law always says yes. Yes, my beloved, as you believe. And it is with heartfelt belief that I say yes. So I release, I let go, I know all is well. And we affirm this by saying together, and so it is.
When it's too
And I feel so alone. I have lots of feedback happening, and that can't be good. We're gonna start it again. Yes, we are, just 'cause we can. When it's too big to believe in, and we feel so alone, nothing's right. No, nothing's clear, and it's too big to conceive. God, are you really there? That's when I swear I hear a whisper in my ear. I am here, right where you are, part of every mountain, part of every star, and you are here. Yes, you're right here with me, part of everything that's felt, all we hear and all we see. I am as close as the very breath you breathe, part of you, and I will always be. I am here when it's too big to believe in, and I feel so alone. Nothing's right and nothing's clear, and it's too big to conceive in. Tell me, God, are you really there? That's when I swear I hear a whisper in my ear. I am here inside of you, part of everything you are, wherever you go, whatever you do, and you are here, right where I am, part of every ocean, every grain of sand. I'm as close as the very breath you breathe. I am part of you, and I will always be. I am here. I am here. I am here. And I will always be.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
I'm not sure my voice will work after that. So, this is the time that I get to introduce Kelly Robbins, RScP, spiritual practitioner, my friend and my colleague.
Thank you. See, how do we do this and keep 6 feet away from each other is the big question. Am I in the right spot?
Yep, you're good.
Okay.
Right on your mark.
Yeah, well, good. Here's where we landed.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I wanted to be the one to give the talk today because it's our first Sunday since our minister has moved on. Reverend Leah has a new position, and as the lead practitioner here at Centers for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley, I wanted to connect with us and bring us together and talk about what it means to create fresh tracks and have us all come together with how we were going to move forward on our journey as a center. And then the pandemic happened, and no one's here. We're all live. And I was a little disappointed. I thought, well, it's really not too appropriate to talk about the fresh tracks. And I was thinking, we've all been scrambling to move from doing the services live or in person to doing it on Facebook Live. We have Jay's Spiritual Forum, which is amazing. We're setting up Zoom and everyone's learning new technology. I'm learning how to work with Karen and do music. Like, there's all these parts to it. And I thought, gosh, if there's ever a time that not just me, but each and every one of us in this world are in this space of creating fresh tracks in the midst of all this change, it's now. I mean, it's not by choice. It's not this space of setting a goal and intentionally moving into this new dynamic of where we want to go, but we're here and we're all doing it. So it really is just the same talk, just in a different way, which our teachings teach that the life force that is God, the universe, that energy, the growth and expansion of us happens when we get to, I call it the edge, but when we get to that place where we're growing and expanding, not in the routine. The first 10 or 15 minutes of our service today didn't get recorded, and I really, sorry, Claudia did some amazing announcements. we missed them. And I apologize for that, but this is what happens when we're in that place of the growth and the expansion. And we're all experiencing it when we go to the grocery store. There's these new rules to live by. The hand washing, all of the working from home. We're experiencing new ways to connect with each other. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit. But how we choose to lean in and step into the change that we're here forced into, we have choice in whether we embrace it, whether we fight it, whether we steep into fear and just hide and cower, or whether we lean in. I have a choice. We have a choice to laugh about it not being recorded. We have a choice to embrace the new technology. It's interesting because about a year ago, we set the center up to be certified to teach online classes. And I took a training to be, we have certification with Centers for Spiritual Living, and we've never embraced it. We haven't done it. In the foundations class I'm teaching, we were forced to move it online, and I was so nervous. And there's bumps. We'll talk about setting up Zoom accounts because that's where a lot of us are moving the communication we'll be having, which meditations, the services here are on Facebook, but we're having some bumps. It takes a little while for some of us to get it moving, and yet this was something that we had said a year ago we wanted to lean into, and really we didn't lean into it, and here we are being forced to go there. So it's really a beautiful thing. It's a choice to make this a loving service and for all of you to have opportunities to create. So I encourage you, where are you, what's happening at home? What's happening with your work? And are you being conscious enough to make the best of it rather than fight and argue and be angry? So a couple months ago, actually it was just January or February, we had Dr. Patty Lukenbach come and teach a class on metaphysical psychiatry. And one of the things that she talked about in that Saturday class was being able to She called it transmuting the energy of our conditions. And to me, for some reason that stuck with me. What does transmute mean? It means to be in it, like be in the chaos, be in this pandemic is what's happening right now, and not be of it. How do we be in the fear and the panic and the hoarding and things that are going on in our society and not get sucked into that energy of it? It was an interesting question. It made me think, is it possible? If it is, how do we do that? There's a lot on the news about washing our hands and staying 6 feet away from each other and staying home, working from home. Our kids are not going to school. And all of this is physical. We listen to our doctors, we listen to the leaders tell us how to stay safe and not get sick right now. In addition to that, there's this sense of ourselves and our spiritual selves, and how do we keep ourselves sane and healthy? You know what I mean? How do we keep ourselves not sick? How do we stay healthy? And part of that option is to transmute the energy of our conditions. So let me give you an example of how I felt myself getting sucked into it. We have the collective consciousness of our city, our community, of our center here, of the world. Like in Boulder, we have the Boulder bubble. Sometimes people talk about it, but it's a thing. We have it for the United States. In Colorado, it's going on. About 2 weeks ago, I had this strong, it was on a Saturday, and I had this strong desire to go to Costco. Like it was, I don't go on the weekends because I don't have to. I go during the week, but it was Saturday. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go to Costco. I think I said it like 5 times. And I was like, you know, I just had to go, and I didn't go because I thought, why would I be so crazy and go on a weekend? And then later that, I didn't go. Later that night on the news, or it was on Facebook or something, they had videos of lines wrapped around Costco in Colorado Springs, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I didn't go. And then it was interesting. I thought, why did I want to go so bad? It was because everyone was going. And there's that, I think, that collective consciousness of the scarcity and the fear and the overbuying because we're going to run out of toilet paper and food and things. So that kind of woke me up for a minute. And I said, this is the collective consciousness. I've learned about this as a thing. Felt it before. So I bring this up to each of you to stop and think, are there places, feelings, whether you've acted on them or not, where you're not being you in your own individual identity, but you are kind of in that collective consciousness. And I'm going to, since I have time, invite an exercise. So this is what I do to visually pull myself out of the collective consciousness. I've done it, I've been conscious of it several times, and this exercise works. So if you'll close your eyes for a minute. And visualize above you like a cloud. It can be in any kind of energy. To me, it's usually darker, but it's that collective consciousness. It's the group think, might be a term that you've heard before. And it's just up there. It circles. It's just above you. All you can see above is this cloudiness. And visualize yourself, just some of the gray, just some of you coming down out of it and into your body. Just visualize you coming out of that collective consciousness, out of that group, into your body, into you. And you can sit for a couple moments and do this. You can do this for 5 or 10 minutes. There's no right or wrong way. But it's just with intention, saying, I'm making my own decisions. I'm in charge of my emotions and my reactions and how I respond, not everyone else. And you don't have to use that exact exercise, but it's one that works for me. It's something that you can do to get yourself back into you and not have like these weird urges to go to Costco on a Saturday when you don't have to. Because it's feeding into the panic, the fear that's permeating society right now. Just if that exercise doesn't work, try another one, but be conscious, what's going on? Are you watching the news nonstop, right? It's easy to be wanting to know what's going on. Can I go to the, do they have toilet paper yet? Can I go to the store? What should I do? It's easy to get yourself in that zone where you're just focusing on the outer, and it's important to know what's going on. It's important to be part of our community, and it's just as important for you to take care of yourself. And so spend some time knowing what's going on, and then stop and take some time focusing on your inner self, your world, and check out for a minute. You can do the collective consciousness exercise that I just gave you. You can spend time. One of the most powerful things, if you can do it for just 5 or 10 minutes every day, is read something positive. Any of the classic authors, there's no right or wrong. Napoleon Hill, there's videos, YouTube videos. Brandon Bouchard is one who has some great 10-minute videos. There's tons of podcasts that are free. All of this is free. You can find online. Do just whatever resonates with you. Spend 5 or 10 minutes just raising you up. Just raising your vibration up so you just feel a little better. You're not in the low, scarce, fear energy of the world. You're consciously bringing yourself up into a better place. I want to say like a more godlike quality, higher vibration. It doesn't have to be rocket science, caring for yourself. You don't have to meditate for 3 hours or never watch the news. It doesn't have to be that. Yet, there are some things, and you have to do it with intention. Make yourself do it. I find the best time is right when I wake up, and you can also do it right before I go to bed. It's another great time. I like to really focus when I wake up because it sets me up for the day. And we can go on and on the different things to do. Those are two of the most powerful. You can do some journaling. You can connect with friends. Here at Centers for Spiritual Living, Boulder Valley, we have created several opportunities for us to stay connected. We've been hearing a lot about social isolation and separating ourselves from other people to keep safe, to keep healthy. What we have done as a practitioner core is create a couple offerings that we can do online. This Tuesday is our first opportunity. Our practitioner Barbara Bank Babcock is holding a tea, Tuesday tea. She'll be doing it every other Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. and we're going to have it on Zoom. So if you're not familiar with Zoom, you can use it for free, and see, this was part Claudia talked about that didn't get recorded. So we'll just kind of
ad-lib.
We'll just kind of ad-lib it.
It'll be posted at some point.
Okay, it'll be posted at some point, but since I'm here, we're going to keep talking about it. Zoom is free software, and it has been, a lot of companies are using it, a lot of people are using it to stay connected because you can have up to really 100 or more people all at once on there. So I invite you to participate in one of the options that the practitioners have come up with. We have every other Tuesday a tea, starting with this Tuesday at 9:30. We have a meditation and discussion that we'll be doing every other Wednesday starting next week for 2 weeks, starting with Claudia, our practitioner. Claudia that was just up here will be leading. It's going to be wonderful. And our practitioner, Kathy Noonemaker, is doing a book club based on metaphysical psychiatry and Dr. Hora's teachings. And it's going to be, you don't have to have the book to participate. She'll have different topics for each meeting. So it's very inclusive. You don't have to, you can come and go. What we're trying to do is create community so we're not so isolated. And so that we can really verbalize and process what's going on. We are here watching this on Facebook Live. If you have questions underneath the video of me talking, there's a space for you to type in questions. And I don't know if Barbara and Ethan can see. If someone wants to ask a question, because we still have some time, just type it in and we'll, I'm here, I can answer it for you. But we're here as a spiritual center, creating opportunity for us to connect and just talk. I had a really stressful week. I have kids in college, we have work at home, and putting this together online, that doing everything's just different, and it feels good. Sometimes it's healing in many ways to just talk about it and have someone listen. All of our practitioners have also offered to have one-on-one guidance sessions with you at no charge through the end of March. So just reach out to us. And the best way to do that is through email, to email the church at cslbouldervalley@gmail.com. And it's going to be typed in the link right now. See what a team we are, all working together to make this easily accessible to everyone. So in the midst of all this change, in the midst of us creating our fresh tracks, our role is to be able to talk to you. And I know not everyone is on Facebook. It's a shocking truth, but not everyone is here. If you know someone who would like to be connected but's not on Facebook, invite them, send us their email address. We're going to be sending out email communications probably once a week, not our big newsletter, but just here's what's going on this week if you care to join us. For example, the Tea Talk on Tuesday. We're going to try to get an email out with the link. It's free. All of this is free, so you can just click on it. If we can't communicate with you, you won't know about it. So if you're watching or listening, if you have a friend sitting next to you who's not on Facebook, who is not signed up to receive our newsletter, just email us. You can go on the website and sign up, or you can email just the center to the email address I just gave you, and we'll add you to the list so that you're in choice on when you want to connect, when you want to communicate, because we're not having people come in person to the center anymore. So the last thing that I'd like to talk about, I think, one more. We have a Facebook group that we just started. Our board president, Catherine, just started this group. You have to ask to join the group, and it's a safe place for us to have a discussion. If you have questions, we've been posting some funny stuff to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, but the link should be popping up while I'm talking to join the Facebook group. It's just a click, but I encourage you to do that. We just started it, so it's new, it's kind of fun. So it's just more opportunities for us to stay connected and talk, and I think, especially since we're home and more, not just isolated, but there's less movement, it's easy for our energy to kind of lock up and get a little stagnant, and we want to keep the movement happening just so that we're releasing things that are spiritually active, physically active, and we can talk about exercising physically, but there's that movement of the energy. If you're feeling uncomfortable about posing questions or doing things online, this might be a great opportunity for you to stretch and just really move the energy around by joining, by putting your name in the pot to get the emails. It's simple. And sometimes it feels uncomfortable for some people. So that's a growth, just the leaning in. It's a little bit of fresh tracks that you can create. So one of the last things that I'd like to talk about is part of our teaching is we talk about prayer quite a bit. And what does that mean to pray? And I have some of my spiritual friends, and some who aren't even. They are going through this world knowing their oneness, knowing their perfect wholeness and health, and not following the guidelines that are being given to us by our healthcare professionals and our leaders in the community. And that is not our teaching. Our teaching, we call it treat and move your feet. Pray, know the truth, know our oneness with each other, know that we know the qualities of God, that we teach the love, the freedom, the perfect health and wholeness, our oneness, know truth, and move your feet. And move your feet right in this moment means follow what the doctors are saying. Don't walk around like you're immune, right? And I have seen people do that. It's kind of getting a little less and less as time goes on, but treat and move your feet. Pray, know truth, do your spiritual practices, and listen to the professionals. Keep yourself safe. Love yourself, love others. Do your best. I mean, none of us are perfect in this. It's hard. It was hard keeping 6 feet away. I saw Karen want to give her a hug. Clyde, it's our natural instinct to want to interact, and yet it's not for the safety of us as a whole, for humanity as a whole. So treat and move your feet. And I think that's everything. Let me see if there's anything else that comes up. Has anyone asked any questions over there? Okay. So that's perfect. Catherine, I'll ask you one more time to post our email address, cslbouldervalley@gmail.com. So you can reach out to us, get added to the list to receive our emails. Feel free to ask to talk to any of us over the phone or over Zoom to get some spiritual guidance, if that's helpful, and it is a lot of times. We are going to be sending out the opportunities for all of us to connect virtually and stay in community. We are still doing our outreach with Sister Carmen. We're continuing it for 1 more month. Sister Carmen, we're going to be posting on our website some of the things that they have need for, food, clothing. Someone will be here on Friday from 10 to noon. You can just set the items outside the door, and someone will come bring them in for the donations. That is still happening. And then the last thing that I want to talk about is tithing. The tithing is how we have lights in this recording. It's how we pay salaries. It's how things are done. And our routine is just gone. Our routine is all messed up. So what we are asking you to tithe online, virtually. We have 3 options to do this. One, you can mail it in. The address should be popping up. We also have a text to give, Tithely. Actually, Tithely is not text to give. Tithely is an app that you can use. I've used it super easy. You set it up once, and then you can just give right off your phone without much effort. The last option is through our website. We have PayPal. When you come to our website, on the upper right-hand corner, there's a donate button. You just click on it, and it goes straight to PayPal. It's wonderful. It's set up specifically for nonprofits, so it makes it easy. The fees, there's no fees actually. So I encourage you, keep up your spiritual practice of tithing. The world, there's a lot going on right now with people. Most people are working from home, our jobs. All that energy is shifting around. Lots of people have lost their jobs. The restaurant industry, we've been hearing all these things going on. Own your circulation, own your abundance, and lean into giving and offering in different ways. And it might be uncomfortable at first, but just do it. Just lean in. Don't go up into the collective consciousness of the economy as, own your circulation and keep it going. So even if it's a little bit, it makes a difference, and it's keeping your energy moving. Okay. So what's next, Karen? Karen's in charge. Do I pray? Do you do a song?
Why don't you do a prayer?
Okay.
And then I'll close with a song.
Perfect. Wonderful. We can make this up as we go along, because we're creating fresh tracks right now. Okay, so if you will join me in prayer. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in, breathing in that life force, that energy of the universe, that energy that is filled with love, filled with vibrancy, filled with the excitement and and embracing the oneness that is all of humanity, that is all of from the stars in the sky to the clouds, the snow, the people and our animals on the planet. All of us are one. That energy that is the growth and expansion of God is here in each and every one of us. It is here strong and thriving and alive in me. And as I know this truth, and I know that the wholeness and the health and the love that is humanity is thriving right now. Communities come together, friends are helping friends, love is filling spaces, love is filling people, love is filling this world as we step into the unknown and embrace this change, embrace this space that we're in right now, and release what's ready to be released as we make room for the new to come in. I realize the truth of these words. I realize the truth of the life force that flows and circulates through each of us, through all of us. The truth in the perfection, the truth in the wholeness, the truth in the love and expansion that is so innately a part of us, that it's wonderful and it just feels good. I give thanks to know these truths. I give thanks with open arms to fully embrace the life force that is God. The life force that is filled with perfect health and perfect wholeness and perfect love. And as I release these words to the law, I know without a shadow of a doubt that these words spoken are true, and this prayer is complete, and so it is.
So it is.
So thank you so much for joining us today.
I picture all of you out there, really. Thank you so much for being part of all of this. And thanks to everybody who is here in this room with me, helping out. If you want this next song that I'm going to sing just for you, because what the song is about is remembering God is with you always. It's one of my tunes called Let an Angel. And just email the church, tell them you want your copy, and if you send your email, we'll get you a copy of the song for free. It's on one of my CDs. I love you all. Thank you all so much. And God bless. Let an angel ride on your shoulder and be wherever you go. When the world seems a little bit colder, feel that warm wind blow. And if sad shoulder.